Alright guys, welcome back. We're going to do another video, similar to the last one we uploaded earlier today. And what do Palestinians think of Hamas and the extreme ways that they fight and run their ideology? So, let's get into it. We're not going to mess around too much. And here we go. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
What do you think of Hamas and their way of fighting?
شو رأيك في حماس وفي طريقة نضالهم؟
كلهم شعب فلسطيني واحد يعني شعب
All of them
فلسطيني
are Palestinians.
آراءات مختلفة
What
وهدفهم
about their way?
Different opinions. بس طريقتهم في
Sorry, let's go back just a bit.
كلهم شعب فلسطيني واحد يعني شعب
All of them
فلسطيني
are Palestinians.
آراءات مختلفة
What
وهدفهم
about their
Different
way?
opinions. بس طريقتهم في الكفاح في النضال.
Hold on. What do you think of Hamas and the way that they fight? Or the way that they...
شو رأيك في حماس وطريقتهم في التعامل في الصراع؟
مش كل شيء بتعمله حماس مظبوط يعني.
Not
مش كل
everything
شيء غلط.
Hamas does is good and not everything is bad.
Okay.
The middle way.
You're in the middle?
And the middle way, yes.
Okay, so for example, because the person asks about the way, let's say, for example, suicide bombings and shooting rockets.
عمليات انتحارية وصواريخ.
عملية انتحارية أنا ضدها أكيد.
Is against suicide bombing?
He's against and me against.
According to religion,
It's immoral. Immoral for us.
it's immoral.
To kill civilians is immoral.
Because me and you are Muslims.
Yes.
شرعا حرام لأنه الرسول لما كنا معارك ما كان يقول لك ما تقطعوش الشجرة اللي هي شجرة.
According to Islam, it's taboo, it's forbidden, and the Prophet used to warn the soldiers to not cut a tree
ولا ولد صغير ولا شيء.
or kill children or
Who warns the
the
children?
Prophet.
Oh, the Prophet warns. Okay.
بس عملها بتقول كل شيء بروح.
But Hamas don't care, they kill everybody.
So it's good to see that they are against a lot of what Hamas does, but they are still refusing to denounce fully, which is where things get a little difficult. You know, they think it's almost like they think there's a they're here, they're extreme, but they got a purpose, and we don't know if that's exactly how they feel, but it just seems like it. You know, because I'm in the middle, I'm not okay with this, but I am okay with this, and it's like, dude, just like this is going to be an extreme comparison, and I'm not comparing them to Nazis. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's like someone going, I don't like the Nazis, but you know, they do some good things. I mean, like, hey, our economy's back on top, but you know, I don't really like the Jew stuff. I don't really like that stuff, but hey, you know, the economy's booming. What can I say? I'm in the middle. No, like, you got to denounce or agree, like. It's just, yeah, I don't know, but we'll get into it. I'm not going to judge them any specific way. It's just how I feel.
He's against that.
Okay. What do you think of Hamas? And what do you think of their ways of fighting?
What's crazy to me is, like, I can tell these people are not native to the land at all. And I'm not saying that every Jewish person has a deep current connection to the land of Israel. They're a diaspora population, so that means unless they stayed in the Middle East, most likely they've lost a lot of their ethnic look and ethnic identity, no matter whether or not they still have some of the DNA. A lot do. Only like 28% are Ashkenazi, so the majority of people there have Middle Eastern or North African DNA and still look like Jews. But in Palestine, it's almost completely the opposite. There are so many, you know, that have blonde hair, blue eyes, green eyes, you know, light brown hair, you know, and things that, you know, definitely aren't Middle Eastern in any way. And, you know, you can hazel eyes and even sometimes greenish or blue eyes, but like usually dark hair. Like, for example, I have blue eyes, but I have brown hair and dark brown beard. I don't have, you know, I don't have green eyes and blonde, you know, hair. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Right now I'm a little pale, but I do tan very dark. And that's just part of the Semitic still in me. I'm also mixed race, so that would be part of a big part of that. But yeah, I mean, you can see that my arms are much darker than my face, and that's not even going tanning. That's, or going out in the sun. That's just regular. Being barely out in the sun, I get tanned quickly, and I think it's crazy that these same people might say, "Oh, look at the Jews. They don't look like they're Jews. They don't look like they're from here." So it's like, how are you going to criticize when this guy back here is pale as hell and it looks like he has blonde hair? Like, how is it okay for you to criticize Jews and say they don't belong here? I'm not saying him. I'm just saying Palestinians in general. And the pro-Palestinian people say it's not okay for Jews to be there, but it's okay for Palestinians to be there. That's bullshit. It's a stupid argument based on bullcrap, because if they really believed that, then they would kick out all of the people who aren't native to the land, which is around 80% of the Palestinian population. So 80% of the Palestinian population comes from Turkey, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Iran, basically like Armenia and Kurdish lands. During the economic boom from about 1910 to 1925, there was a mass immigration of Palestinians. And before that, Jews outnumbered them pretty greatly. From all the way going back to like the 1850s, like that's what we know at least. Before then, we don't really have a great census. But according to Mark Twain and Karl Marx, who both visited Israel during the 1800s, they said that the Jews outnumbered them, but the land was desolate until, and this is, land was desolate until the Zionists came there and settled the land and replenished the dirt and really tried to farm it instead of just going from piece of land to piece of land like the nomadic tribes would, and then they would just ruin all the vegetation and destroy all the land and make it barren, and then they would move on. They wouldn't replant anything. They wouldn't settle and farm the land to build it up and make it worth something. It was, like Mark Twain said, there was barely a shrub or cactus, those close friends of the desert that I have rarely seen the scrub and the cactus, those close friends of the desert. It is hard to say that this desolate place can even support them. And that was in, I think, 1870 something. And at that time, he said there were around, Karl Marx did before, he went before, and he said when he went, I think it was 1860 or 1865, he said that there were around 4,000 Arab people and around 7,000 Jews. And then when Mark Twain went, he said there was around 12,000 Jews and around 6,000 to 7,000 Arabs. So you can see Jews have outnumbered them. The Ottoman Empire may have owned the land. It was the Turkish people, the Ottoman Turks, owned the land, but they didn't have a huge population of people there. I mean, Turks aren't Arabs either, but like But after during the economic boom, so many people from the Ottoman Turk Empire came into Palestine. That's why you have such a huge population. Like this guy, 100%, he's Turkish. Like the nose, everything. It's not a Jewish nose, not a Semitic nose, not Semitic ears. The hairline, everything. He's very, very, very Turkish. Very, he's very Turkish Armenian kind of mix. And you can tell. If someone said, hey, this guy's Armenian, you'd be like, oh yeah, definitely Armenian. Like, it's just obvious. Cenk Uygur, he's Armenian. Same kind of look, same kind of hairline, same kind of nose, everything. Or no, he's not Armenian, he's Turkish. But, sorry, Anna Kasparian, she's Armenian. But anyways, yeah, Armenian and Turk, Turkish people took over the land of Armenia. That's where the land Turkey actually comes from. Turkmenistan is the natural home of the Turkish people. And they went to the west and conquered everything between Turkmenistan and Turkey. So yeah, they took over Armenia, and this is what they look like. And we're sitting here trying to say, oh no, these people aren't native to the land. No, I'm guessing he's either a recent immigrant, like his parents or his grandparents, or that possibly his great grandparents came here in like 1910, when his grandparents or whatever were kids. And that's it's ridiculous to think that we have to sit here and say, oh, just because they're brown, that means they're native. No. The Ottoman Turks ruled the land in the 1900s. So, if there's a mass immigration of people, the first people going to come are going to be from the Ottoman Turk Empire. It's obvious. Because it wasn't a country, it was an empire. So, you're going to see more things like from internally and from the empire, unlike a country where you could see immigration from other countries.
Okay, Hamas is a Palestinian organization. I'm not against Hamas, but I don't like their way of dealing with the situation.
So you're not against them, which means you like the outcome. You just don't like that they are so public about their outcome, public about their ways. That's basically what this means. He's like, I'm glad that the Jews are dead, but I just don't like how they kill the Jews.
Because the Hamas organization, it should be a religious organization, and when they do a lot of killing through Palestinians and killing Israelis too, that's wrong.
Okay, that's better. That's good. He at least says he believes that's wrong. But you have to be against Hamas. You can't say you're not against Hamas, but you're just against the things they do. That's BS, because that is who they are. The word Hamas, and I'm not joking. You can look this up. I'll look it up right here on my phone, so I don't have to exit out of this. What does the word Hamas mean in Hebrew?
To do violence.
Yeah.
According to Washington Times, the Hebrew verb is Hamas, meaning to do violence, to wrong. The noun is Hamas, meaning violence or wrong. In the Hebrew Bible, the verb occurs 7 times, e.g., her priests have done violence to my law.
There you go. Hamas means violence, or to do violence. The name Hamas is a jibe, or jab, whatever you want to call it, at the Hebrew people, at the Israelite people, the Israelis, us, the Jews. It's a jibe right at us. It's meant to basically just right at us, saying, this is why we created this. Our name means violence, and it's in your language. We are here to commit violence against your people. That's what they are there for. And I'd say almost no Palestinians actually know that. That's the sad part. I think if they did, they would be against them 100%. And not all of them, but the ones who don't support the violence. If he truly doesn't, then he should be told that, because if he did, he would probably be like, okay, I don't. I didn't know that that's what they were.
If they are believing in God and they want to follow the book, which is the Quran, and in the Quran and the Bible and the Torah, it says it's.
So many people get this wrong. It's not the Torah, it's the Tanakh. The Torah is just the first 5 books of the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament. So the Tanakh covers the Torah, the Ketuvim, and the Nevi'im. So you got to have all 3 sections to have the actual Hebrew Bible. Too many people just call it the Torah, and they don't know what they're talking about. Even Jews. There's so many Jews that don't even know the real name of the Hebrew Bible.
Haram to kill people either ways.
It's not haram to kill people according to the Hadiths and to the Quran. I have a passage I can read you right now that goes over exactly why it's not only halal and not haram, but it's something that you should do if you are a Muslim. So, right, is that it? No, that's the racist ones in the Quran. Yeah, so if you don't know that Muhammad calls black people raisin heads, says they have heads that look like raisins. Don't forget that in Palestine there's an entire black apartheid district that it's basically called Slave Town. And it's what it would be in English basically, or slave section. And that's something that people don't want to ever look at either. Okay, here we go. All right. Here we go. Sorry, guys. There it is. And there it is. Okay, so I heard Allah's messenger saying, the Jews will fight with you, and you will be given a great victory over them, so that a stone will say, "Oh Muslim, there is a Jew behind me, come and kill him." There's another verse, it's basically the same thing. It says, Allah's messenger said, you, i.e. Muslims, will fight the Jews until some of them will hide behind the trees and stones, and the trees and stones will betray them, saying, "Oh, Abdullah, slave of Allah," i.e. slave of Allah, "there is a Jew hiding behind me, come and kill him." So, yeah. They believe in a holy war that ends with the Jews and Christians being slaughtered or being put under slavery and paying a tax called the jizya, which is a tax basically that says you can be what you want, but you have to pay us. You won't have any human rights. You won't have, like, they say you have rights, but it's BS. Like, if a Muslim commits a crime against you, there's no, like, punishment. Like, you can't take a Muslim to court. You can't take a Muslim to, anything. Like, if they do anything, you're culpable for everything. It doesn't matter. And you can't have, like, if you want a lawyer, it has to be a Muslim lawyer, not a regular lawyer, like a non-Muslim lawyer. If you want anything, it has to be through Muslims. Like, all your justice you're going to get is through that. So that's why I don't agree with Islam in any way, is because it's total control, not trying to just bring forth a peaceful world where everyone can practice how they want.
What do you think of Hamas and the way they fight, the extreme ways they fight?
I don't like fighting. I love peace. And I hope so that they will go on peace and think for peace. I don't like Hamas.
What do you think of Hamas?
Hamas? It's Palestinian people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they do good things?
Sometimes it's good and sometimes they are wrong.
Okay, do you think that the use of violence is a good thing or a bad thing that they use?
Sure.
Like using guns?
Rockets, bombs, suicide bombs, knives. I want to see what he's saying. Come on, man. I know it's something not right.
He said they protect Gaza Strip by the land, but they don't like that idea. They shoot,
their own people. They shoot their own people.
For example, when somebody they are attack your home or attack your children or attack your ground, what you are doing.
So it's okay for Hamas to kill people if their home is attacked, Gaza or whatever, but it's not okay for Israel to retaliate and attack when their home is attacked and their people are slaughtered, raped, murdered, and brutalized in the worst of ways. Oh, no.
Ask for you.
We don't talk about Hamas.
Oh, you're talking about me?
Yeah, the question. It is for example, for Hamas. And for everybody, for Palestinian. Not for Hamas only.
Okay. So you're saying Hamas does those things because Israel attacks their children?
Yeah, they are attack everything for Palestinian. They are take our water.
I'm sorry, they take your water? They give you water. They give you water for free because we gave you water distribution plants and you didn't take care of them. You spent all of your money and time on buying terrorist things and using schools as hotspots for terrorists and firing rockets from them, instead of going and taking maintenance and putting maintenance people on those water distribution spots and water, sanitation spots. And instead of doing that, you let them become poison. Basically, the water went bad and it poisoned the water to the point where you couldn't drink it or you get sick. That's their fault, not Israel's fault. We gave them fully functioning power supply stations, whatever you want to call it, power plants and water distribution sites and all that stuff. Yet they didn't take care of it. Now it's our responsibility. I'm saying our, but Israel's responsibility to give everything for free. Why? Why not use the money that you get from Qatar for your bombs, for your missiles, and use that to rebuild things? Why not put it in order from Israel? Like, literally, Israel would have no problem giving you new supplies. Just send over your list of what you need and send over the money. And I'm sure they'd even do it for half price. I'm not kidding. And send it over and say, we need this and this and this to fix our water distribution plant. Okay, all right. Make sure we get those, blah, blah, blah. Okay, 2 weeks later, boom, everything's there. You can fix your site. And I'm sure Israel would supply everything until then, or until you can have it fully functioning and fully working. And I'm sure they'd even keep supplying it until it's actually going to supply enough water for your entire population. But yet Israel is just expected to give everything for free Wi-Fi, free power, free water, everything. Like, Israel could turn off your Wi-Fi right now and you wouldn't be able to post any more propaganda. How nice is it that the people you're fighting against allow you to keep your internet and allow you to keep posting propaganda bullcrap about them? How nice are those people? Like, are you kidding me? The same people who say everything is destroyed over there, yet you see people with giant cameras, and you can't upload those films unless you have a setup. I'm talking like a setup bigger than mine, more than an expensive tower and a couple screens and a camera. I'm talking huge huge setups, massively expensive computers and programs and all kinds of stuff, and a huge office to do so in with multiple people and staff. And yet somehow you can create those videos with hundreds of people with red cameras, which are like $25,000 to $45,000 cameras, and you can film on those, upload those onto a computer, obviously in Gaza because you're not going anywhere else, and then put it out on social media, all edited and chopped up in the way you want. That's bullcrap. If it was truly as desolate and devastated as you say it is, there would be no way for you to upload any of that crap.
Land, they are killed, children, women, and everybody. They are killed animals.
Yeah, and this is why.
And the Palestinian people who they are live in Gaza Strip, they are live like big prison.
Yeah, and this is what you don't even know what you're talking about, dude. This is what I'm talking about. These people are so indoctrinated. They've never actually, they don't know what they're talking about. They just hear things and they regurgitate them because they hear them. It's like, why aren't you calling on Egypt to release their border open? Why are you not focusing on the fact that just from Gaza before October 7th, over 200,000 people, up to 300,000 people came over the border every single day to work in Israel. And then from your side in the West Bank, 500,000 people came over every day. And you're telling me that Israel hates you guys and tries to kill you guys. Why would they want you in there? They don't need you. They could easily get by without you, but they're letting you come over. And all they'd make you do is go through a simple, checkpoint where it says, do you have any guns or weapons? Okay. Can we check your trunk? All right. Thank you. Bye. That's it. And yet somehow that's a prison? Bull crap. It's not even a freaking wall. You have like over 100, you have about 100 yards of wall, and the rest is just a simple chain link fence. And it's because you guys were literally running across with suicide bombs, blowing up people, killing hundreds and hundreds at a time. Sbarro bombing, the bus bombing, another bus bombing, another bus bombing, and another bus bombing. I can pull up a list of over 150 attacks just from I think 1991 to 2012. Like, why are we acting like, the reason they're in the situation they are is just because of bad Jews, bad Israelis?
No, the problem in the Israeli soldier.
Okay, I'm done listening to this, dude. Yeah, he wants to talk about Intifada. Where is it? I saw Intifada. It's something about there needs to be a second Intifada or something. Where was that?
From 20 to 35, it's difficult.
Okay. Like,
the person.
No. I'm saying, like.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
They are big liars.
Yeah, I'm done with this dude. I'm done with that guy. Move on, please. He's just propaganda.
Well,
this girl might actually be Palestinian, at least
I
genetically.
Really agree with
she looks more Arabic, but she looks more than
but
that first guy.
In Mukawama,
First two guys
in
were
the
both.
I know what
First
it is.
two guys were both Turkish. You could tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am with them, but
She looks a little bit Pakistani almost, but she looks like she could be maybe more Arab than, possibly native to actually the land. But we'll see.
I agree that we have to.
Sorry, my
put
nose is
religion
all itchy.
In politics.
In politics.
Okay.
Yes.
So you agree with their ways of, for example, like in Mukawama,
Yes.
So you agree with that? Okay. And that includes also civilians, like regular people, or just army?
Maybe army.
Maybe. So that means she does want. Sorry guys, I can't get into this anymore. This is crazy. I didn't think that they would be so just open to killing people and to violent resistance and to an organization that literally named itself violence. It was obviously meant to be violence against Jewish people, and that its charter says they want to kill Jews. They actually bring up the exact verses I was talking about. Yeah, right here. It says Hamas charter: Israel will exist and continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it, just as it obliterated others before it. The day of judgment will come about until the day of judgment will not come about until the Muslims fight the Jews and kill them. Article 7 of Hamas Charter. Hamas regards itself as the spearhead and the vanguard of the circle of the struggle against world Zionism and Judaism. Islamic groups all over the Arab world should do the same, since they are best equipped for their future role in the fight against the warmongering Jews. Yeah, the day of judgment will not come about until the Muslims fight the Jews and kill them. Then the Jews will hide behind the rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees will cry out, O Muslim, there is a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him. Hamas Charter, Article 7. If you support that organization, you support Jews being slaughtered en masse. That's all I have to say. And if you don't know about that, then you're ignorant and you're dumb for following an organization that you don't know anything about. I'm sorry. Like, that's all I have to say about that. I can't believe that people would actually go through saying all these things and not know who these people are. And if they do know who they are, then they're just as bad as them. You can't support. It's like saying that's like supporting the KKK and not knowing who the KKK is and just being like, oh, I just thought they didn't like, I just thought they were bad. They didn't like black crime because black crime is such an issue. I just thought they were standing up to black crime. And then you find out like they don't know the history, that they actually just hate black people and hate Jewish people. You don't know that. Like, that's your fault. Like, maybe you should do some more research, and then people might say, oh, the Palestinians, they've been brainwashed. And yes, they have. They do. But it's your responsibility to know who you support, no matter who you are, no matter how much you've been brainwashed. It is your responsibility to know who you support. And if you haven't done the due diligence, that's your fault. Alrighty, guys. That was a little bit of a different one. I appreciate you guys for watching. Thanks again. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Come back. Alrighty. You guys have a good one.